I'm Freddy Mac. This is Natalie.
I'm Natalie.
Q102 in Cincinnati.
Yes.
But how are you, man? That's where we want to start with. How are you? Pandemic,
I'm good.
Given the circumstances and everything, but how are you?
Yeah. I mean, basically in that nutshell, I mean, I'm great, man. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? All things considering, I'm probably just trying to do what everybody else around the world and definitely in our country are trying to get back to some type of normalcy. So, same thing.
For sure.
Well, Freddie and I were talking about it. I think it's safe to say that you may have won 2020. I mean, you still did.
You know what? I don't
so
know
much
if that's the year to win. I don't know if that's the year to win, but I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Well, you definitely had a very rambunctious year and did so many dope things, like staying on it. It was wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man.
You did a lot. I did a lot too in 2020. I feel like I won it in my own way. I moved to a new city. I had a baby boy.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, man. And so we wanted to ask you kind of a dad question. You know, how would you deal with if your kids did a tell-all interview with Oprah?
You know what? I don't. Hopefully, me and my children would never get down to that type of scenario.
Yeah.
Where they would need to do a tell-all with Oprah.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, okay, let me say this. I love The Crown. I watch The Crown.
Us too, big fan.
So in watching The Crown and then watching that interview, you can't help but see how that interview takes place. I can see how they get to that point. I could just see it. You can obviously see it because there's nothing more important than the monarchy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's nothing more important than the monarchy. You know what I'm saying? And if you're trying to live under that type of regime in 2020, you're trying to live in a structured environment that was structured thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you're sitting there, and it's 2021. There's no way there's no way that you don't get to that. There's no way that situation does not get to that interview. That's impossible because evolution is inevitable. You're going to have to evolve. And the one thing the monarchy does probably as slow as anybody else is evolve.
Yeah,
it's evolve. It's the last of the evolution. Matter of fact, they fight evolution. You know what I'm saying? They fight evolution with tradition. They don't fight evolution with reality. They don't fight it because you would think, me personally, that if you were thinking about survival, you would be more proactive than reactive. And you know what I'm saying? And it just goes to, you look at that and it's just like, they're so reactive. They're not proactive. They don't grasp and try to lead and try to be at the forefront. You would think that would help the quote unquote royal family of saying, you know what, we're going to be the first royal family to integrate and show that all creeds can lead. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, you would think that they would embrace that and just see where this thing is going and just be like, well, you know what? In order for us to survive another 1,000 years, we're going to have to be in front of evolution instead of being behind evolution. That's just how I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Evolve or die.
Yeah, you would think that they would be leading the campaign for integration and leading the campaign for just trying to, keep it alive. Because if you look at it, how much longer do you think it's going to survive at that pace? I mean, the people are going to come knocking at the door. You know what I mean? And
it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time, bro.
It's been bubbling up for, since.
But you could control
since Princess Diana, I would say.
But you could, even before then, if you look at her sister, if you look at actually the one king that stepped down that actually allowed her to be.
Yeah, the abdication.
Actually allowed her to be.
Her uncle,
her uncle. So if you look at that and you just think like, yo, y'all don't, how many times are you going to get a crack at this to wrong this right? I mean, to right this wrong. You know what I mean? and they just keep making the same damn mistake.
They mess it up every time.
And there's no way you're going to get away with it right now because it's a thing called social media. There's no way you're going to get away with it now because you can't control the outcome. Back then, they could control the media. They could control who says what. So my kids, we would never get that far. You know what I'm saying? And if they did, I'd probably wring their necks.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Well, you're trying to embarrass me.
Right, you're making sure this is not happening. My parents would kill me. Oh my God.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Insane.
Oh man. Yeah, man.
But as you as a parent, you've been doing this for some time now. What kind of parent are you? Are you like the what do we call it?
Let's say go ask your mother type of dad.
No, I'm halfway. I'm halfway into. I'm in the middle of because I said so, and trying to have an understanding as a friend parent. I'm in between that because I think it is in your favor to not just be the parent, but to also have some type of friendship with your child in this day and age. Only in this day and age, because there are gonna come times where it used to be you could shield kids from certain things until they were ready to understand it, and hopefully they didn't run into it somewhere down the line. But now you can't. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you used to have to sneak in. Yeah, you have to bump into your parents' Playboy magazines. You know what I'm saying? And, now it's kind of like you have to block the internet. It's just like you go straight block it. Like
my parents had the code on the DirecTV for certain channels. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
You couldn't even watch certain things. So yeah, no, that's interesting.
I can think that your kids have got to think that you're a cool dad because your music is still hella relevant. So it's playing all the time, and you're still Nelly. It's dope. You like never aged. You never, you know what I mean?
Thank you so much. Yeah. So they haven't gave me a head full of gray hair yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm still hanging on. But I think the thing is also is for all accounts, man, my kids are great. You know what I'm saying? Do we go through things? Obviously we go through things. I mean, that's what growing pains are. And it's not the easiest thing to grow up as the child of someone of this nature, of this stature, because sometimes expectations are put on you unnecessarily and certain things, and you don't get a chance to naturally find your way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like naturally make your mistakes. All the mistakes that you make are compound. They're not just, they're highlighted. They're not just, oh, so what? I did that when I was a kid. It's kind of like, yo, what are you doing? You can't do that.
It's on Google now. The tabloids thinking that TMZ is talking about it now. So look where we at. No, so it's a different type of raising a child. And we're talking about, your music, Country Grammar, 20 years, 20-year anniversary, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And that was big. That's the debut. It's the first one.
During my come up for sure. Oh yes.
Like, what does that album mean to you?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's the start of not just representing myself, but where I'm from, St. Louis. Shout out to the Lou. Getting a chance to put where I'm from in the spotlight, getting a chance to highlight that we have just as much talent as any other place in the world, where you can come from St. Louis and be the biggest thing on the planet in a moment. You
made the Midwest so cool.
And the Midwest, I don't think we get enough recognition for all of the talent that has ever come out of all of the greats come out of the Midwest. I mean, come on, let's stop it. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson is born in the Midwest, Gary, Indiana. True. You know what I'm saying? Like Prince is from Minneapolis. Yeah. Prince is from Minneapolis. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, the Midwest. Kanye is from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like both
the entertainers from
I can go
Missouri.
on and on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Steve Harvey, he's from Cleveland. I mean, obviously you can go on and on. But the thing about it is that I think that comes from, because we are in the middle, we get a great melting pot for everything that's around us. and we get a chance to take in the East, the West, the South, and get a chance to come up with a version that everybody loves. So the Midwest is not a regional music; it's a global type of experience that can exist anywhere. So yeah, man, it was good to represent where I'm from. And country grammar just means, it probably means more to where I'm from than it does to me personally.
Ah, yes. We know you've been noted to say that the come up is the most exciting time in the music industry, Do you think there's a second come up of you? Because I mean, you still keep going and evolving. You could always, reinvent.
Yeah, speaking of evolving, right?
Yeah, well, I think reinvention and I think that evolution and reinventing yourself, that's the key. A lot of my idols are people, masters of the reinventing themselves. I mean, obviously, I was born at a time where there was no hip hop. You know what I mean? I was born in the 70s. So, at that time there was no hip hop. So if you look at it, I grew up on the Michael Jacksons and the things like that. And if you look how he evolved, and then this guy out of New York, out of Queens, named LL Cool J hit the scene, and all hell broke loose. And you're talking about a master of reinventing himself, and Tupac, he was a master at reinventing himself, and you look at all these artists, and I think reinventing yourself is the key. It's about not shunning what is happening, because what I think you get so many artists and so many people want things to stay the same as they remember it. And I say that goes back to when I say the best time is to come up, because a lot of times when music means the most to you, it's when you're a teenager, when you're a kid. That's when your music means the most to you, because it's your experiences, it's your soundtracks. You can hear songs. You remember where you were, what you were going through, if you had your prom, if it was your homecoming, what songs were played, and that's your moment. That's what you remember, and that's where you always want to stay, because music is everything. I have to go to this concert. Oh, I'll do whatever. You beg your mom. I'll clean up. I'll do whatever. Just buy me some tickets. And then when you get to be our age, it's kind of like, yeah, I love Nelly, but I got to pay these bills first. So I don't know if I'm going to make this damn concert. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I love them. Hey, it's good, buddy. Good to see you. You know
what? During all of those things you just described is when you made the Midwest cool, and I was in high school. And let me tell you, one of my high school friends, all the guys still get together and do a golf trip every year. It's this year, and every year they have synchronized the soundtrack to all of your music and to St. Lunatic's music. True stories. When I told them yesterday I was going to be talking to you, they are face melting right now. So because you are like the soundtrack to our entire upbringing. So
man,
anyway,
well, tell the homies out there what's happening, man. Tell them to keep it going.
I will. They actually paid for Murphy Lee to do a cameo, but they couldn't afford you. So what they did,
they tried, right?
Yeah.
But I think she mentioned a line from the documentary about the come up, and we loved watching that documentary. But the only thing wrong with it was that it was so short.
So true.
I wanted it to keep. I didn't want it to be over. I wanted to keep going. Is there any plans for like a long form documentary? Because I mean, there's a lot more you can talk about and cover, right? With your life, your career.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, it's been like somewhat of a biopic craze going on right now with a lot of different things and so we are getting talks and things to kind of tell a story up to now, so to speak. And it's kind of hard because, when I start thinking of biopics, I start thinking of, I don't want to say you feel like it's over or you feel like, you tell the story. It's just like, I know it's been 20 years, but I got so many great ideas. I got
still got gas in the tank.
Stuff. Yeah, exactly. And I remember a conversation that somebody told me a while ago, like in early 2000s. I had a chance, and Will was like, almost like 15 years or something like that after he first started rapping, he was still doing the Fresh Prince. And you think about Will Smith after the Fresh Prince. You just think about how much he's done after the Fresh Prince.
Right.
And you're just like, wow, you know, he's done so much after the Fresh Prince, but even before, after the Fresh Prince, he had already done so much. You know what I'm saying? His music career, all that parents just don't understand, getting up to that point. And that was just like 15 years. And then he has this other crazy career waiting on him, and this mountain that he kicked into. And I like to use Will as a great inspiration, because, you know, 15 years was just a beginning. 15, 16 years was just a beginning of this person who he was able to create, and this icon that is on this Mount Rushmore of celebrities, probably period, across the board. And he started out a rapper. He started out a rapper, you know, a rapper from Philly. And so when you think about that in terms, not saying that, you know, I'm trying to be Will Smith, but you just said, you think about ways of constantly reinventing yourself and creating different avenues. And I mean, I don't know, man, we're in talks. So hopefully, you know, if something comes together that will really be in line of where we're going, and we'll be able to say to be continued, so to speak. And then I think that would be something that I would be definitely interested in.
Okay, super cool. Can you tell me about, do you know you can buy 1 can of your Budweiser Tall Boy on the internet for $20 a piece? Is where they start off. Yes. A six pack is like, sometimes I found one on sale, but it was broken for $80. But a 6-pack is how much is that? $120? This is amazing. Do you have a lot of these in your house saved somewhere? These are collector's items.
You know what? We probably got some at the office somewhere. I mean, you know what I mean? But I don't know if it's that many, because we gave a lot of them out. We gave them to obviously to friends, family, associates, business partners that may not have been able to get some because they were only selling them in St. Louis. And then so I think that's probably why they're a little bit high. Well, I would probably say a lot high.
Yeah.
$20 a can. $20 a can. If I'd have known they were going to be going $20 a can, I would have stocked the hell up. You know what I'm saying? It's just
even just think about shipping. I'm like, so if I buy this, it's going to come exploding. So it's going to be warm, shaken up in the box from whoever's sending it from their house. And in St. Louis, you know, so.
Well, what they would probably have to do is take like a cold pack, freeze it, wrap it up, and then ship it. Maybe you can get it. Maybe you can get it. Yeah.
Get some dry ice in there. This is a whole, started a whole thing.
I wanted to ask about Hot in Here, or Her.
Okay.
Sorry for the mispronunciation, but
there you go.
That song has, I'm originally from Maryland, like right outside DC. So that song has go-go influence from
Chuck
Brown, right?
Yep.
Bustin' Loose. Did you know, you knew that going in? Did you know that that history of go-go going into that, that song?
Of course. Yeah. Again, I love music. You know what I mean? Like, and I obviously, I mean, and when you talk about go-go, there's an art form. That's an art form that's underrated in music, I would say. Mm-hmm. You know, and how influential that it is, and just how infectious it is. And I don't think it gets enough credit for the influence that it has just over music in period. But what I will say is that experience has taught me to always get your music cleared before you put it out.
Was there a copyright infringement going on there?
Well, not an infringement, but I'm just going to tell you that the first time I met Chuck Brown, his arms were open and he had a grin from ear to ear, and he was just like, because he got paid.
Good.
I'm just going to tell it to you like that. Not saying that he wouldn't have got paid overall, but he got Chuck Brown probably made more money off of Hot in Here than me and Pharrell together publishing wise. I'm just going to tell you that.
Gosh.
I'm just going to tell you that. I mean, obviously, considering royalty shows and everything else, I probably made the most money off of Hot in Here. But if you just want to think in one specific category because you know a song has like 4 different categories upon which you can make music off of it. But if you want to talk about that one, Chuck Brown was very, very happy to see Nelly.
Oh,
I can't imagine.
That's why his smile was so big. Because you're a great person.
My God.
He was excited to meet you, but also like, hey.
That's what I thought. I was just like, yo, he just wanted to say hi to Nelly. It had nothing to do with that percentage on Hot in Here.
So do you love that song? Because Hot in Here still plays no matter like what city or state you're in, East Coast, West Coast, North, South. That song plays everywhere.
I played at every wedding I DJ.
Yeah.
Like I play it all the time. Like it's timeless, period.
Of course. Thank you so much. And I think that's what you go for as an artist. So hopefully you can create music that withstands different generations and you still get that feeling when it come on as it did when it first was invented. And like you said, it's a karaoke monster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a karaoke monster. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those joints where man, you feel fortunate enough that you did get a chance to create something that hopefully it will be around for a very long time after you're gone. And that's kind of like one of those joints. And you know, me and P, man, we knew we had something. I'm not going to front. When that song came out and when we were creating it, a lot of people didn't get it because it was a different sound.
Right.
And definitely coming off of country grammar. When you're coming off of like country grammar and then you go into a sound like Hot in Here with that go-go smash, it's kind of like, are you sure? But boy, all hell broke loose. You know what I mean? Like all hell broke loose with that song.
Was there one person in mind that you think their ass is bodacious that you wrote this song about? Is there one butt in your brain?
Nah. No, at that time, man, it was just a salute to all bodacious females around the world. You know what I mean? Because I had been around the world and back again by time that came out, and I was just celebrating all my bodacious female fans. So congratulations,
women around the world.
Hey, salute to International Women's Day.
Yes.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for calling. Amazing. What was the word? Alliteration, grammatical genius to the rear ends. Thank you very much.
No problem.
What's your secret, Nelly, to these relationships? I know we talked about Pharrell a little bit, but I mean specifically in the country realm, right? With Kane Brown and Jimmy Allen, Florida Georgia Line, obviously. Like, what's your secret to those relationships? Getting in that world, so to speak.
Well, before I even get to those guys, I think it. You know, when I first came out, it's like country grammar. You know what I mean? So if you think about country music right now, there's probably not a country music fan that's under 40, probably a little bit of, probably above 40, but there's not a country music fan that don't like some type of hip hop.
Yeah.
That does not listen to some type of hip hop in some form, shape or form. Now they love country music. Country music is their thing, but they also can appreciate some artists in hip hop. So those guys that you're listening to, you got to understand, Nelly, in 2004, I dropped Over and Over with Tim McGraw. So if you look at a lot of those guys, just like she put out there, those guys were probably so young that their parents probably were playing country grammar, probably listening to Nelly Over and Over and Tim McGraw. And you listen to that emergence. And when I did Over and Over back in 2004, you know, my label looked at me with a side eye like, yo, this guy's trying to ruin his career. Like, what are you doing? Like
career suicide right here, man.
You're absolutely nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but fortunately enough, and I give shout out to my homie Tim McGraw because he believed in me and what I was trying to do. Because you got to understand, in 2004, this was still freaking Tim McGraw. You know, he's on, you know, Mount Rushmore country music. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's like, you know, for him to entrust in me and believe in me in this idea that this rapper got from St. Louis was like, okay. And we were able to put it together and create what I like to say is, you know, one floor in the bridge that from country music to hip hop that I'm trying to continuously grow. So by the time I get to Kane Brown, FGL, you know, and all these other cats, it's kind of like, you know, these guys grew up on me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As well as what they're doing. And I was already in that realm before they got in that realm.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Dude, you wrote, okay, let's just, I feel like you're being modest. You were the first one. You wrote the rules on
this is
it.
True.
You like wrote the playbook.
Trailblazer.
On all of this, man.
Well, I mean, I know, but it's due to that fan base allowing me to be at the dinner for those fans of country music to show me so much love, which coincides with my project right now, the Heartland Project, which is, you know, is what we're getting into right now, and is which I call it. It's country influence. It's not a country album. I don't say it's a country album because it's a Nelly album, but it's country influence. And I have so much respect for country music, the genre of country music, country artists, to know that Nelly's not going to wake up and make a country album no more than Tim McGraw is going to wake up and make a hip hop album. Yeah. But country music has allowed me to be at the dinner. Now, I don't have to sit at the table, but I'm allowed to be in the room. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that love and that, you know, what they show me. So this project here is just that. It's kind of like Nelly's bringing them country club bangers. This whole project is just about, you know what I'm saying? It's just about, yo, my love for country music, my appreciation. And, you know, I'm trying to create something that's not there. And all throughout my career, that's what I've been able to do, is bring a new sound and a new energy in a lane that nobody's able to do but myself.
Love it, man. We want to be respectful of your time and everything, but we love a little bit with Florida Georgia Line on that. And we're looking forward to Heartland. No hard date yet. I can't
no
find
hard date yet. COVID,
yeah.
man. And you know, I'm from the old school, so I don't like putting my music at the fans. I like giving it to them. So I like to be out on the road. I like to tour. I like to be out in front. So hopefully, you know, 2021 is bringing on a whole new thing, and we'll be able to get back out on the road, and I'll be able to present it. But if not, then we're going to have to do the best that we can. But I'm pretty sure we'll get a date soon. And, you know, I'll be back to holler at y'all when we do.
My man. Well, we're looking forward to it, man. And hopefully the next time we talk, we can have a face-to-face conversation. Us three sit down and we celebrate Heartland, and we get to see you on the stage somewhere soon, man. We hope so.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, bro.
Thanks again for taking the time, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate
thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Freddie, Nat, thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, have a great day. I can't wait to one day drink one of your Budweisers, okay? And I'll tell all my friends you said hello.
I got you.